So, here's the thing. Every time you think the Meghan Markle drama can't get any crazier, someone throws in another bomb. This time, it's none other than Ghislaine Maxwell. Yes, that Ghislaine, the woman at the center of the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. The same woman who's supposedly still in prison but has been oddly quiet until now, because now she's talking, and not just about Epstein. She's pointing her well-manicured finger right at Meghan Markle, and the story she's telling is shocking. The word from inside the prison walls, or maybe wherever she really is that Ghislaine claimed there's a CV, not a job resume type of CV. No, this is said to be a document that shows a very different side of Meghan's life before she became royal, a side that's less Hallmark actress and more adult-themed work and private role play. And the phrase being used is playing the adult game. It sounds vague enough to deny, but juicy enough to make people suspicious. And it's not just gossip magazines talking about it. This came from a leaked prison statement. That alone is enough to break the internet. Now, Meghan's defenders were quick to jump in, calling it all lies, a distraction, a desperate attempt to smear her. And honestly, it does sound extreme. But here's the twist. The person spreading it isn't just some random Twitter troll. It's Ghislaine Maxwell, a woman who was actually in Epstein's circle at the very center. If she's naming names, now people will pay attention even if they don't want to. Then, just when it looked like this was going to explode, the court stepped in. A U.S. judge denied the request to release Epstein's grand jury records. The reason given? Safety and privacy of victims. Okay, fair enough. But if there's really nothing there, like the judge said, why not release it and close the matter? The public isn't stupid. When you say there's nothing, then lock the file away like it's a state secret. People only dig harder. One article that came out before the judge's decision warned Prince Andrew to get ready. Apparently, these files were expected to show his links to Epstein, and Meghan may have been caught in the background. Because let's not forget, according to Virginia Giuffre's lawyer, Meghan knew Virginia. They weren't strangers. That's why the lawyer wanted to question Meghan in the first place. Not just for headlines, but because she might have known exactly what was happening. And that's the real twist. Meghan wasn't just a bystander in this story, she had a front row seat. And if we believe the lawyer who put this in court documents, she saw more than she's ever admitted publicly. The claim was that Meghan had knowledge and could confirm details about the royals, that she had information in her head, as one source put it. So, if Ghislaine's documents are real, and Meghan really was in those high society groups before Suits and before Harry, this is going to get ugly. It already has. And if there's truth to this adult entertainment past, then her whole image, the podcast Duchess, the lifestyle brand owner, the Duchess turned wellness promoter, starts to fall apart. But here's the irony, Meghan might not even need Ghislaine's help to hurt her own image. The past few years, she's done that on her own. From family fights to the Netflix backlash to the fake curtsies and the book lies, people are already doubtful. So when something like this shows up, even if it's only rumor, it sticks because the base is already weak. And that's what makes this so dangerous. The phrase playing the adult game didn't just appear from nowhere. It landed with a bang. It's one of those phrases that says everything and nothing at the same time. Some people heard it and thought escort world. Others thought of the dark side of Hollywood. Whatever it really means, Ghislaine knew what she was doing. She lit a match on a pool of gasoline. And now, the fire is spreading. And the timing is strange because while this was heating up, Meghan was busy launching her new business. First, it was American Riviera Orchard. Now it's just as ever. A lifestyle brand with fancy jars of jam and expensive candles that smell like PR strategy. But how can you launch a brand built on purity and empowerment when someone is tying your name to Epstein's world and phrases like adult role play? You can't. You cover it with pastel branding and influencer boxes and hope nobody asks questions. But people are asking. And it's not just tabloid drama. Virginia Giuffre's legal team made it very clear that Meghan wasn't just a random person. She knew Virginia personally and reportedly had first-hand knowledge of what happened in those groups. That's why they thought about putting her on the stand, under oath, to say what she saw and what she knew. And in a big civil case, names, like Meghan Markle matter. Not for drama, but because being there matters. If she was around Andrew, around Virginia, around that world, then staying silent is a choice. Now, here's where things change. According to the lawyer's statement, Meghan could be expected to tell the truth. That sounded too hopeful. Because let's be real, Meghan's history with truth isn't perfect. Remember when she said she had nothing to do with the book Finding Freedom? That fell apart in court documents proving she helped the authors secretly. So, if she's already been caught twisting the truth under oath, what's stopping her from doing it again? Especially now when so much is at stake. But even if she never goes on the stand, the idea that she might is enough to scare the royals. And people are scared. Harry, the man who left the royal family to protect his wife, is now next to someone who may have been deep inside Epstein's circle and never said a word. And according to the same lawyer, she wasn't just bumping into Prince Andrew. She was a close companion. That wording isn't random. Close companion means familiarity. It means access. It means she saw things and maybe joined conversations or moments she doesn't want the public to know about. Then there is the CV, the actual paper Ghislaine says exists. It supposedly lists Meghan's activities before she became a duchess. Not an acting resume, but something much more damaging. It's the kind of file that, if ever revealed, could destroy everything. And while her fans say it's all fake, the people behind these claims aren't just internet bloggers, they're convicted insiders and lawyers handling serious cases. People who know about legal risks and media pressure. So now Meghan is trapped. If she stays quiet, people assume she's guilty. If she denies it, critics say it's spin. And if she sues, that CV better not be real because court discovery would be brutal. Either way, her every step is being watched. Not just by fans, but by lawyers, reporters, and even royals who want to keep certain doors locked. What makes this all so chaotic isn't just the accusations, it's the silence. Meghan hasn't answered any of it. No denial, no lawsuits, no careful PR statement about lies. Just a polished Instagram page, product launches for as ever, and photos of fancy jam jars. That silence speaks louder than any interview. Ghislaine Maxwell's reputation is a mess, no doubt, but she was deeply involved in Epstein's world. And the thought that she'd randomly make up a connection with Meghan Markle makes no sense, unless it was already real, especially when there's said to be a document proving it. And this isn't some old rumor being pulled off Reddit. These claims are coming from inside a prison, or wherever Ghislaine really is, which means someone wants the public to know. Now add the fact that powerful people are panicking. Prince Andrew was literally told to brace himself. That kind of warning isn't casual. And if Meghan was really close to him back then, even just on the edge of that world, it makes things worse. Because this isn't just about being near bad people, it's about access. If she was in the room, if she heard things, if she was near meetings that involved Epstein or his partners, then her silence looks suspicious, especially when courts start asking questions. This isn't just about the past. It's about what this does to Meghan's whole public image. For years, she's been sold as the woman who escaped toxic royalty, who stood against media hate, who built a brand of honesty, authenticity, and power. But if even a little of this is true, none of that stands. It all falls apart. And fixing that kind of image isn't just hard, it's impossible. And here's the thing, people like comeback stories, but they hate being lied to. If Meghan had been part of Hollywood's darker side and admitted it, people might forgive. But this so-called document doesn't tell a story of mistakes. It tells a story of hidden deals, selective memory, and an image carefully crafted to fool. You can't build an empire on honesty while hiding dark secrets in a luxury closet. The real risk now is exposure. If that CV ever gets out, whether by a leak, a whistleblower, or a court case, it's game over. Because even if it's exaggerated or twisted, public opinion is everything. And once the media locks onto a story like this, no amount of fancy candles will save it. Then there's Harry. He left his family, burned bridges, cut ties, all to protect Meghan. What happens when he sees her name linked to Epstein in court files? When lawyers say she has key information about Prince Andrew's actions? When they suggest she knew more than she admitted? If that's true, the betrayal doesn't just hurt trust, it destroys it. But the one thing that stands out is how confident Virginia Giuffre's lawyer sounded. He didn't hesitate. He didn't doubt. He believed Meghan had important testimony, that she could confirm what Virginia went through, that she wasn't just watching from the sidelines. That kind of confidence doesn't come from gossip. It comes from proof. Interviews, emails, witness reports.